friends. Today I wanted to walk through a little bit of my sort of process of how I incorporate journaling into my reading process, all the different ways that I like to journal about the books that I'm reading. And yeah, we've got a couple different things going on and I bounce back and forth. I definitely don't do all of this every single day, but I enjoy every piece of it. So to start, the first one is just my reading journal. This is a Hobonichi Weeks, has gunk on it, ew. Hobonichi Weeks, and I use this to track reading. And then this year I have been tracking my workouts as well, but I think next year I want this to just be my reading journal. But here's an example of a weekly spread. So I'll do a little heart if I've worked out that day, and then I just journal brief 1 or 2 sentences about what I'm reading that day and how I'm feeling. And then if I finish a book, I add in this washi tape that has the title, author, date, and rating. And I also add the format and yeah, just a quick little review of the book, nothing too intense. I just love how simple this is. This is so accessible for me as someone who has strived for years to incorporate journaling into my day-to-day routine and only really been successful the past 2 years. Something that is really straightforward and doesn't take a lot of daily maintenance is key for me to feel successful and for me to actually reach for it every single day. And yeah, I just have fun with this. I'll do just very minimal decorations on each spread. It's fun to add some little fun stickers, but I just don't like really overdoing it. And in fact, some of my favorites are just the really simple guys. And I absolutely love how colored fountain pen ink behaves on the cream Tomo River paper. So I do a lot of different colors of fountain pen in my reading journal. Then in the back section, I have my little goal tracker for the year, and then we get into the book covers. So all of these I print out using my HP Sprocket. Love this little guy. Just brings me a lot of joy seeing them all listed out here. Then we get into some of the more individual pages. I have a library tracker. I track the book clubs that I'm in. And then I have a little spread for each month. I'll write my TBR and then do a recap with my Storygraph stats. So that's really fun. I have a tier tracker. I write down parts of books that make me cry, favorite authors, some notes, little sub-goal tracking section. What else is in here? My book subscriptions, 5-star reads, a list of short books. And then this section, I list out in order every book I've read. This is nice to reference, so I don't constantly have to pull up Goodreads or Storygraph when I am adding things in here. And I did have to cover up 2 extra pages to add some more space. But yeah, so that is my designated reading journal. And then because I don't have a super involved reading journal where I'm doing really involved spreads or really crazy intricate data on every single book I read, in my cousin, I have occasionally been doing full spreads on books that I've finished. So one of my favorites, let's find it. So one of my favorites was this spread I did for Our Infinite Fates. I printed off some images that I felt gave me the vibes of the book, and then I just wrote every single quote that I highlighted or tabbed. I wrote it out on these pages, and I just love the way this came out. Similarly, I have a spread for 11/22/63. Love this one. Fewer quotes. Definitely didn't want to take quite as much time as I did on the other one. We have Dune. What else did I do? Did Rage of Dragons, Left of Forever. So yeah, just whenever a book really makes me feel kind of inspired, I will do a spread like this. But it's too much for me. It's too much pressure to try and do this for every single book that I read, and I don't really care to. So yeah, I definitely see myself doing something similar like this next year, where I just do it kind of occasionally. But when I do take the time to do it, I do think it's really fun. Then this little guy is more of just a standard notebook. in my index here, I'll just list out what books that I'm taking notes on, and then I'll put quotes or thoughts of the book that I'm reading currently. And this has been helpful now that I'm doing more book reviews. I've been enjoying making notes as I'm reading. I do annotate books, but sometimes it's also nice to have a place where I've written specific thoughts that I want to cover in a video. So that's what I'm using this little guy for, and that's been working out well. I still got a ton of space, so this will last me quite a while, because again, not every single book is one that I feel like I need to take extensive notes on or care to. And then in my Paper Republic, we have this Hobonichi weeks that I got to do content planning. And so what I've been trying out is if I have a specific idea for a video, I've been using the back pages for video ideas. So I've got a couple of the different videos that I filmed. I'm about to film a video on the first section of the Two Towers that I read. So I have notes and impressions, and I'll kind of go through this and maybe highlight things that I want to cover in the video. But because these back pages I don't have as like intricately organized as my other notebook, I've been enjoying just using this free space for videos ideas, and it kind of makes sense because this is where I am planning and tracking the videos that I'm making. But yeah, and carry tabs and things with me, which are always handy. My favorite pen for annotating is a Muji 0.5. My go-to daily pen right now has been my extra fine TWSBI Eco. And I have this inked up in Platinum Carbon Black. So I'll go ahead and put it next to my archive swatches. What I have been loving about the Platinum ink versus the Archive Diatramentis ink is it dries significantly faster. The Archive ink is extremely wet, and because of that, even though it is waterproof, you have to wait a lot longer before touching it or highlighting it, whereas the Platinum dries a lot faster, and so I've just been really, really enjoying that. I tend to be a messy journaler. And yeah, you can see I just wrote that, and we're getting very, very minimal smudging, which is just so nice for someone who is often, I'm working quickly. I'm not always paying attention. I just tend to rush through things. It's sort of the story of my life. But yeah, this ink has been working really, really well for me, and I'm so glad that I tried it. So yeah, that's been one of my favorites. And then just for funsies, I brought out my other favorite. This is another TWSBI Eco, but this is a fine nib compared to an extra fine. And this is a Pilot Irishizuku ink in this beautiful teal color. Just had to look up the name. It's Sioro. One of my just all-time favorite inks. It's this lovely tealy blue. It shades nicely. It's got just like enough of that green color in it. Yeah, I love this. I love this color. But yeah, that's how I incorporate reading into my journaling. I'm very loose with it. I don't hold myself to really consistent standards or high standards because I want this to be something that I can both stick to, but also is serving the purpose of allowing me to engage more with texts and not adding like an artificial pressure of a standard that only I care about and I'm stressing myself out over. So yeah, I think it's so important as readers to just take a little extra time and sit with the things that we read and draw connections and think about how they make us feel and how they apply to our lives or what we could learn from them. And as someone who tends to read a lot and I read pretty quickly, this really does help me be a lot more intentional with my reading. And like I said, not every single book is making me have these like deep, existential thoughts, but when a book really hits me and I really want to spend some time with it, I really enjoy doing so through journaling. So yeah, that's it. Have a good one, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.